welcome to today's video. In today's video, we want to program a simple web application using Python Flask. That is, we'll be working with Python. We're going to develop this BMI calculator. It's a very simple project for beginners, but it's going to help you understand the full concept of how to use Python Flask or Flask to develop a Python web application. Python Flask is being used to develop lightweight applications in Python. So as you can see down here, we have a simple web app with a lightweight CSS animations on the side, just blinking. You can see that. So how it works is you enter your width in kilograms and you provide your height to then your BMI will be calculated. BMI stands for body mass index. All right, so this is what we're going to do today, guys. So if you like this video, you find it useful, just try and subscribe to my channel so you get more of these videos, and also share it to your friends, and also give me a thumbs up. All right, guys, so let's see the walkthrough of this simple web application. I can provide my width, say 65, and the height in meters, 1.6. I don't know. So we can just click on calculate. Then we're going to see how Python Flask will calculate this thing and give us the result. All right, so let's just click on it, calculate. Then we're going to see your BMI is 25.6. Let me try another number. All right. I think there are some people that are 80. Then I can enter 1.2. All right, calculate. Okay, it's 55.55. So guys, this is what we're going to work on today. So it's a very basic project for beginners, but you're going to understand all the concepts around Python and Python web and Python Flask. So guys, let us go there. All right, guys, I've already created a folder, BMI calculator here. You will see I have nothing there for now. So I open it with Visual Studio Code, so you can just go ahead and open your own with Visual Studio Code. I'm using Visual Studio Code for the programming. All right, guys. So if we want to start the coding, if you don't have any knowledge of HTML, CSS, I'm just to do a bit here in this video so you can follow along as we continue. All right. So first off, what we need to do is to set up the structure of the web page itself. All right. So let's go there. I'm going to create a file down here. I'll call it index.html. All right, then I'm also going to create another file. Okay, folder. I'll call the folder static. All right, then I'm going to create another folder, call it templates. All right, then this index.html file have to be inside this template, so I'll just carry it, I'll drag it up there. Then I'm moving this index.html file into this template. I think I should zoom this in small. All right, so that's right. So you can see it's inside the templates folder. All right, so I want to start writing my HTML file. So as usual, doc type. So I'm going to have BMI calculator. All right, So that is my title. So down here, I think I should open it at the side. So I should open this at the side. So I'm just going to go off here. Then I just want to set it side by side so we'll be seeing what I'm doing as we are coding. All right. All right. So also this. All right. Let me get the structure set out so you can be seeing what I'm doing as we go. All right. All right, guys. So now that I have the structure set up like that, right? So I can continue the coding. So I just have this basic HTML structure right away. Okay. Uh, do we necessarily need this? I don't think so. So let me expand it so you see everything. Fine. All right. So inside the body of the tag, I'm going to have a div with a class name of container. All right. Then inside the div, I'm going to have h1 with the text BMI calculator. All right, guys. So down here, I'm going to have a form, a div, sorry, with a class name called form wrapper, form dash wrapper. Okay. Then I'm going to have a div with a class name form. All right. Okay. So inside the form div, I'm going to have a form proper. All right. With the form is going to have a method post. Method of post. All right, so I have the form straight away. Then the next thing I'm going to have, let me have the label, label for, let me just call it width, right? But this is not even necessary. I just remove it. So I want to have weight, right? And the weight is in kilogram, right? Okay, so that is what I want. Next thing I'm going to have is the input field. Input field. Then it's going to be a type of number because we're going to type a number, and I'm going to have an ID called width. Not sure whether I'm going to use this ID. Then the name of this input field is going to be width as well, and I'm going to make it required so the user cannot skip it. All right, so I'm going to have a break here. Let me add a break, two breaks to it. So I have that. All right, so that is one. Then the second one, this one is for the width. The second one is for the height. I can just basically copy this and paste it down here. All right, to make the work faster. So I have height. Can now go ahead change everything that inside that's all right. Then all of them will be numbers. So this is going to be height. I just do Control D to highlight the two, so I can just type height right straight away. Then I can have another form wrapper down here that is going to, or btn wrapper, a container that will wrap the btn, the button, the submission button. So I can have button inside of it, and this is going to all have it. All right, I'm going to have the class name, okay, type rather of summit. All right, guys. So I think this is what we. All right. In Python, you cannot basically render the things without using a web framework. For example, either Flask or use Django. These are the two popular ones that you mostly hear about in Python. So we're going to use Flask today. For you to see this in the web page, normally we're going to use Python Flask to do this. That means we're going to render this particular web page from Python Flask. That's from the server itself. All right, so we just need to set up Python Flask. So we're going to know what we're doing. We're going to see all these things that we just did. So for us to do that, first thing off, you need to install the Python Flask into your working directory. All right, so that will take us to where I'm going to open terminal straight away. If you look up here, or you might see your own at the side there, or three button, go down to terminal and click on new terminal. Then you're going to get this terminal come up straight away. All right. Okay, so what we need to do, we're going to install Python Flask. So what is Python Flask? I'm going to take you to the web documentations of Python Flask. So you're going to see you can get Python Flask at flask.python.com, or you just basically search Python Flask on the web, Python Flask, like so. So once you do that, the very first link, Flask, you can click on it and open it. Then you will get straight to the documentations of Python Flask. Python Flask is a lightweighted web application framework for Python, right? You use it to develop a lightweight applications in Python, right? It's a server. So you're going to see these documentations, the Python version you need to use, the virtual environment, how to install it, then how to make use of all of them. This is a whole lot of stuff you can learn in Python Flask, and you see yourself doing everything you want to do with Python Flask. So we're going to walk through the installations of the Python Flask. All right. So first off, we may decide to create virtual environment. I like working with virtual environment. In case you don't know what is virtual environment, or this is the first time you heard about it, virtual environment in Python is where a virtual place that you store your libraries, because Python is all about installations of packages and libraries, right? So you may not want to install all the libraries for different jobs into your local system directory, because some of the libraries may have conflicts with others, some of the packages. For example, if I install Seaborn now into my working environment, Seaborn and need a NumPy, a certain version of NumPy, then I can also go ahead and install matplotlib, which also need NumPy, and pandas as well. So there might be some conflictions in the local directory. So the idea is you create a virtual directory, activate it, and it is called virtual environment. Then every packages for a specific project is being stored there. right? So by that, you now also be able to track all the packages that belongs to a specific project. So that's the idea of virtual environment. So I could walk you through the process. I'll quickly set up virtual environment down here. To set up virtual environment, you can either use your command prompt or terminal to do this, or you use this virtual VS Code terminal to do that. Everything works fine and good. All right. So to do that, we're going to type this command Python dash env then the name of env. I'm going to call it env. All right. So if you are using Windows, you're going to type this command. I just zoom in so you're going to see it. All right, you're going to type this command Python dash this particular command Python dash env then the name of env. You can call this particular last one anything. You can call it env, you can call it pyenv, you can call it anything, right? But this has to be, this side is the command. All right, that is if you are using Windows. If you are using Linux like me, we're going to use Python 3 because the package name for Linux is Python 3, but for Windows it's just Python. All right, so I'm using Python 3-n. Remember, if you are using Windows, you go with Python. All right, so if you hit on enter here, if you look down your working directory here, you're going to see that we have a new file called env, which is the name here that you give it, right? So if you open down this env, you're going to see other folders and files inside. You have bin, we have include, we have libs, and we have lib64 and many other stuff inside. So this is where we'll be installing different things we're working on. Then in your Windows, you also see it, everything will appear there, right? Okay, it's a good practice to work with virtual environment when you're working with Python. All right, so guys, after the environment variable is being set up, so the next thing to do is to activate this virtual environment. If you are using Windows, you're going to type this command, env, which is the name of this folder, then slash script slash activate. This is the command you're going to type, env /script /activate. All right, a / script did not work, you can use /, right? Still works fine. All right, I've tested this, it works fine. All right, even so, it's going to work. So once you hit here, it's going to activate this virtual environment for you, and this command is for Windows users, right? All right, this particular command. Now, but I'm using Linux to activate the virtual environment in Linux. You're going to type source env /bin /activate. All right, this is for Linux users. This environment variable will be activated for you. So let's go there and hit and see. All right, so we just have the virtual environment activated. You're going to see the name of this folder, which is the name of the virtual environment, at the side of this directory down here. All right, so you know that it has been activated. I'll just click here. All right, guys. So after activations of the virtual environment, the next thing to do is to install Python Flask to this virtual environment. All right, guys. So I can do pip. If you're using Windows, you're going to use pip, the word pip install Flask. All right, this is your command if you are using Windows, pip install Flask, right? But if you are using Linux, you're going to use pip3 because the package name for pip is pip3. I'm going to use pip3 install Flask. All right. So for you to do this, you must have internet connection because Flask will be downloaded, Flask Framework will be downloaded into this working space. All right, I can hit on enter, then we'll give it a time for it to install shortly, then we'll continue. All right, guys, you can see that different kinds of stuff has been downloaded and is installing. Once you have installation successfully installed all these things and this came out, you know that the installation is done. So we can verify by coming to the env folder, go to lib folder, then look for Flask, I guess. All right. Flask, okay. Flask is not okay. Flask, say it here. We have Flask 3.1.0.bix. All right. And many other things like Ginger that's being installed. All right, guys. At this juncture, we are good to go. So I'll just clear my terminal. Now that we have the Flask set up, installed on our local machine, next thing we're going to do is to set up the Flask app. All right, guys, I think this is another important part of setting up the Flask app. In that case, I'm going to create a new file out here in this my directory. I'm going to call it app.py. All right. Okay. Okay, this is the first entry point of the Flask application. So we're going to first of all import the Flask. Remember, from Flask import Flask. Then we're going to import request as well, and we're going to import render template, all of them from Flask. All right, guys. So we are creating the Flask app now. We're going to get the variable Flask equals to the Flask itself. Then we're going to pass in the name of the file. All right. So first of all, after we have done that, we're going to set up a route that will render the template, this particular template that we have set up here in this place. So let's create a route. To do that, we're going to do app. So remember, the app is this is what I'm calling the app, and the app is an instance of the Flask. All right, so we're going to say app.route. Okay, what the route I want to give is the home page or at the root route. Then I wanted to take both kids and post method inside there. So I'll first of all supply kids in a list. Then I'll also supply post. All right, so this will help us even though we are sending a post request, because we'll be doing that when we are trying to get the page. All right, next thing, we'll define a function under it, and this function will render the index of the HTML, that is the landing page. All right, so we're going to check if the request coming in is the request method is a post, then we're going to do something else. If it is not a post, we're just going to return the templates. So if it equals to post, right? If it's equals to post, we're going to calculate the BMI, but if it's not equals to post, we're going to render the template. All right, so I'll just pass for now so that it won't throw an error while I give the return statement. All right, remember that Python works with indentation, so you're going to make sure that the indentations are okay. All right, so I can now render the index.html template down here, index.html. All right, okay. So for this to run, we need to say if underscore name is equals to main underscore main. All right, so we're going to run the app. dot run, right, straight away. So we're going to provide debug equals to true, right, guys. Okay, we just successfully set up our Flask server or backend for rendering this template we created. All right. The funniest thing is you need to call this template, you need to name it this way, templates. This is how you need to name it for it to say it. If you didn't name it this way, you need to run an extra configurations. The same thing with statics. All right, guys. So we can now run the Flask app and see how it looks. All right, on the web page. All right, for us to run the Flask app, you call Python. If you are using Windows, remember you're going to call Python app.py. This app.py is what we are calling, right? So this is for Windows users, but I'm using the Linux. I'm going to use Python 3 app.py. All right, so I'll put on enter. So we got some errors. 7 debug on address already in use. All right, so guys, let me check what is it, then I'm going to get back. All right, okay, so let's just try it again. Okay, so once everything is good, you're going to see this. You're going to see that running on this URL or endpoint, then you can press Control C to quit the server, right? So what you can do is to copy this, right, with Control Shift C, right, or you right click and you copy, right, and go back to the web page down here. We'll just paste it and hit on enter. Whoa, all right. So we just successfully rendered our HTML template. All right, guys. So that means our work is successful. You can see that the request is hitting the server and it's rendering this HTML template. So this is how to render HTML template through this route. If I manipulate this route like /home straight away, like so, then it will restart itself. If I go back again and try this, I will not get it again. It's going to say URL was not found until I do / right away and hint before I will get it. So that is what we call routing, and that is what we do. I want to leave it at the home page. All right, I believe you get this. So guys, now that we have checked, what we did actually is we defined a function that will render the index.html page, and we check if the request.method, the request always return a lot of stuff. If I print the request, you're going to see the method in question. So let me just print it. All right, print let me say request. Okay, so I'm going to enter that request. All right, so it's going to bring out a lot of stuff. I'm going to rerun it again down here on the terminal. All right, so let's check it out. Remember, I've removed the route, so let's check. All right, guys, so you can see the request is an object and is a type of keys. Look down here, you're going to see what I'm saying for this URL, right? Okay, so from that request, you'll be able to get what is coming in, and that is what we are checking. Request.method equals to post. If it is equals to post, it should do everything inside here. Else, if it is not equals to post, it should just render the template. That's what we just did, right? As I said earlier, Python works with indentation. Like if you shift this thing here, it's going to throw you an error because it's not well indented. Okay, Python is being indented using tabs, right? That is how it works. Just like Java, that you need to put semicolon at the end, but Python works with tabs. So remember, when you're working, if you define a function this way, everything you want to be inside that function must be one tab indented, right? Okay, like this if statement, if request.method equals to post, you're going to put colon in front, then you're going to give one tab inside to show that this if statement covers every logic we want to do because of that one tab. If it is not one tab, it's not inside this if statement block. All right, guys, I believe you have understand this very well. Okay, so now that we have been able to render our template down there, next thing we're going to do is, you see we have the form is not looking good as compared to what I showed you initially. So we're going to apply style to this our web page. All right, and remember we did a minor of animations down there, right? So we're still also going to get that too. All right, okay, so let's go there. So inside the static, remember I said that it's good we name the static. If you name another thing, you need to run an extra configurations for it before it can work out. So inside the static folder, I want to create a new file, and I want to call it style.css. That is CSS file. All right, remember that HTML is just the structure. CSS will make it look fine. So we are starting from the body, right? I'm done with this for now, so I'll close. I'll be working with these two, HTML and CSS, right? We have the body down here. So I want to start styling from the body. So I can call body straight away. So I want to set the background color of the body to be in RGB, and that is going to be this is going to be, let me give it 39, 93, 93, and 116. All right, so this is what I want. All right, so I want every color of the text to be. All right, so that's it for the body. Next thing, I want to style the H1, that is the heading 1. Okay, I want to have the margin top to be margin top to be 40 pixels. Then I'm going to have text aligned to center, and I want to have the color to be white. All right. Okay, so the next thing I'm styling down here is the container. Remember, we have container. This is the container I'm talking about, right? Container. So I want to style the container right away. Right? So I need minimum height of 100 feet. What this does is, let me run this so you look at what we're working on, right? So I'll refresh this. All right. Okay, nothing really, right? So I think, should I expand this? Okay, let me just expand it. Let me expand this. All right. So now I'm going to have minimum height here. What the minimum height is going to do is going to make this to be, I want to centralize it at the center, vertically center and horizontally center. That's what I want to have. Then you need to increase the fill height before you do that. All right. Oh, guys, all this style have not been linked up, so we are not seeing the output. So quickly, let me quickly show you how to link up style in Django. So down here, let me link up the style sheet to the HTML before it can work. So we still link. I'm going to call the link attribute, but this time around, we're going to use Ginger format, right? So I'm going to call URL like so _4. This is used for Ginger. It's a Ginger template. So from the link I shared, which will also be in the description box below, you can also visit it and you understand this thing I'm doing better. All right. So I'm going to specify the folder static. This static is referring to this folder, right? Static, that is where my base folder is. Then what's the file name? I'm calling file name. All right, the file name is called, this is the file name, style.css. Style.css. All right, guys, so let's give it a try and see. All right, our colors have entered successfully. All right, so now that the colors have entered this, right, and it's working fine, so let's proceed to styling this, right? Okay, if I remove this, let's uh do it, right? You're not going to see that scrolling this thing, but it's this thing now that will help the page to expand by height. All right, now you can scroll. All right, that's what view height did. All right, if I put view height of 50, you're going to see the difference. It's just you cannot scroll it. All right, so that's what I mean. So we just leave it 100 view heights. Okay, next thing or we will just going to do, we are still on the container. This is the container we're styling, this particular one that wraps everything. Okay, so I want to have height. I'm going to specify height of 90 pixels. All right, so I'll check that. All right, okay, next thing we want to style up here is this form wrapper. This is the form wrapper. Okay, right? This form wrapper we just want to style it. So I can just call it the form wrapper. Let me get the name very well. I'll just copy the name. So I can paste it. All right. So inside the form wrapper, I want to display it flex so that we can shift it to the center. And I want to justify its center, justify content. I want to keep it center. Then I want to justify items too. Justify items center. All right. So let's have a look at what is happening. All right. This justification is doing to justify left and right to center. All right. Okay. So now it's in center. Next idea is to take it down to the middle of this page. All right. So let's get it done. So I'll be styling this form class now so I can take it to the middle, right? So the form class, I'm going to display flex, all right? Then I'm going to have width of 700 pixels, the actual width of the entire stuff I want to do. 700 pixels, and I need to have a padding top of 90 pixels. Also, I want to have padding button of 90 pixels as well. 90 pixels. Then I want to have a background color of RGB. Want to have 26 and 65 and 82 straight away. All right, let me refresh this. All right, so this is what we are having, a little bit darker. That's what I'm working to achieve. All right, so next thing I'm going to have is to justify content center, so everything will be centered. Justify content center will be the center. Then justify items center. All right. Okay, let's have a look at what is happening. All right, everything is at the center now. So the next thing I'm going to do is to set the border radius. So it's going to up it small border radius of 8 pixels, 8 pixels, and I want to have position because of the animation position. I want to have a relative. Then I want to have the overflow to be hidden. All right. Okay. The next thing I want to do is, so let's just have a look at first. This cups this small. Okay. I want to have border of 2 pixels, border of 2 pixels solid gray. That's area solid. Then I want to have RGBA, a kind of transparency, RGBA. All right. So I'm going to take 255 and I'm going to take 255, then 0.5 transparency. All right, let's have a look. All right, something like that. Okay. So for now, I'm going to leave this here. Next thing we're going to bring in here is to center this thing and style the input and take everything to the center, right? Okay. All right. So let me style the input first. Then we'll come back to the animations of the form. Oh, let's just do the animations straight away. So I'm going to do animations. Animations in CSS is being done by using at keyframe. I want it to be shining the border box. So if you call at keyframes, you're going to give the name of the animation. So I'm calling it shining border. All right, I want the border to be shining, right? So I want it at 0%. At 0%, I want it to bring out this color. I'll just paste all these things in because it's just going to take some time to get this done. I'll just paste everything, then I'll give out the walkthrough. All right. So this is what we did right away at keyframe, right? Shining border. So at 0%, I want to, when there is no any movement of that 0%, I want the border to have all these color combinations, right? That's border shadow, the shadow of the border, this border shadow. I want it to have all these. Then and the border color mainly should be this. Then at 50%, right, I want it to have this particular box shadow and the border color should be this. That is remain increase small. Here is a little bit, not too much. Here is much, just like that. Then at 100%, I want it to expand a bit. If you check, the colors keep on coming brighter as we go. So that is just what I did here. But now, if you reload this, nothing is going to happen because why? We have not tagged this animation to any of the elements in the HTML. So for us to achieve that, on the form element, which is this, I want this border to be shining, right? I want it to shine. So for us to achieve that, here I'm going to call animation attribute, and I'm going to pass the name of the animation to it, right? This is the animation that we have constructed. So I want to pass it in here right away. I want to pass it in here. Let me expand this so you can see very well. Okay, you can have a look at all these things very well and you can see it very clear. So I want to pass this name, this particular name, shining border, to the animations, and I want to set how many times or in seconds will you be animating. I want to give it 3 seconds animation, and I want it to continue like that infinitely without ending. So I'll just call infinite and ultimate. All right. Okay, so that is just it, and we have successfully tagged this animation to this element dot form, which is this dot form, and this is the dot form, is this downward. So if I refresh this, we're supposed to say this. Let me expand this So you're going to say it. So you can see how the animation is growing and dimming itself and expanding. So that's just it. And that's how to get some pretty cool animations, right? You can apply it anywhere and it works for you. All right, guys. So we have successfully gotten the animations, and that's right. Okay, on that next note, what we want to do, I want to style this input field, let it look better, right? So I'll just go straight to styling the input field. We have the input here of type, we have element input. So in our CSS down here, I'll just style the input field. I'm going to call input, and the input is going to have a type of number, because we are having our input has type and the type is of number. That's what we are trying to filter out from the element. So we're going to call it type of number right away. Then I can apply the style. I want to give it a width of 400 pixels or 300 pixels. Let's give it 400 pixels. 400 pixels. Then the height, of course, I want to give it 50 pixels. Right. Then I want to give padding of 10 pixels. Then I also want to have margin of 5 pixels. Then as well, I want to have a border of none. I don't need border. And also border radius, I want to have a little bit curve of 6 pixels. All right. Then I want to have the font size of the text type to be 24 pixels. All right, that's right. Then I can reload this. All right, this is what we are having. All right, this is what happened. All right, guys. So the next thing we want to handle inside there is to style the btn itself. This btn, remember we have btn wrapper, so that's what we want to do. Btn that's wrapper. All right, so we're going to say btn wrapper, we want to align the text at the center. All right, we want this to be at the center, right? So if I do this, so you have it at the center. Now let's style the button itself. The button itself, what we're going to do, we're going to give it a background color of say hash for CAF50. All right. Then we're going to have the color of the text to be light. All right, and we're going to have cursor to be pointed. Cursor to be pointed. As well as the font weight. I want the font weight to be a little bit bold. Now, bold. Then I need the font size to be 16 pixels, and I need the padding here to be 20 pixels. Also, I need a margin of 5 pixels. Margin of 5 pixels. I need, whoa, what am I doing? This is supposed to be margin 5 pixels, and I need border of none. Don't need any border, as well as the border radius of 6 pixels. Border radius of 6 pixels. All right, guys. So I can just check what we have done so far. All right. Okay. So we got that. Okay. Since we have this, let me expand this and let's have a good look at it. All right. So this is what we have. What we have. All right, guys, at this juncture, we are getting this and we are getting this, we are getting this. All right. Next thing for us to do is to attach the functionalities inside this and see how we can get it done. So let's go down there and get the functionalities done since we have the styling done. All right. So I'll close this for now. Then I'm going to open the app.py file. Okay, remember that when is a post request, uh, something's supposed to happen here. I just use pass so that there will be no errors, right? We print what request.form is returning, so we'll know what we are doing. Uh, uh, that's basically what we need to do. So request.form. So let's print it and see what request.form returns. So I'm just going to rerun this now again. So we're going to test and see what will request.form will return. All right. Remember that we said initially this place is type of submit. Okay, so let's go down there and see. I'll just type anything for now. Hit on enter. Cool. So if you look down here on this terminal, you're going to see this dictionary, right? That comes with width 86 and height 60. That is what request the form is. You don't necessarily need to provide um, um, the action here. As long as you have a submit button, it is definitely going to come up here and you have defined the route. All right. So, we can access it through width and we can access it through height. So in our app.js, we'll be getting that down here. So if I need request.form, I can just define, let me remove this first. I can just define width equals to request.form into bracket. Then I'm going to call the width. Look up here, right? So I'm just going to call it here, the way it comes. This width, where you are getting it, is from this name. This name you gave to this thing, name and height. That's what you're giving it. Where you're getting it. If you give it a new thing, then it will and must definitely change. All right. So I'm going to get the height too in that same way. So I can just copy this quickly and paste it down here. All right. Okay. So we have successfully gotten this, right? Just convert this to float because definitely it's going to come as a string, right? Okay, so I can wrap everything with float. To convert it, I can just say float, right? Then I'll paste this. It's going to automatically convert it. Float. All right. So we now have it here. So now it's time to calculate the BMI straight away as we proceed. So for me to do that, I'm going to define a function up here that will do that. So to define the function, you call the calculate BMI. All right. So I'm going to pass in the width and the height because it's what we'll be using to calculate it. So what are we going to do? We're going to say BMI is equals to, it's going to be width divided by height square. All right, height squared. So height raised to, all right. So this is what we're going to do. Then I'm just going to say return BMI. All right. So this is a simple function to calculate the BMI. So in this case, I'll be calling, after getting the height and the width, I'll be calling BMI equals to calculate BMI. Then the function, I'm going to pass in the width and the height inside of the function. All right. So at this juncture, let's check out the result. I can print this to see the result, BMI, on the console. So let me run this again. I'll clear the console. I'll run this again. So if we enter here, if I click here, you can see that we have answer right down here. All right, so this is right. We have successfully calculated the BMI. Now it's time for us to return the answer for the user to see in the web page. So I'm going to use the word return. I'm going to return render another template. So the template I want to render, I'm going to call it result.html. Then I'm going to pass in BMI. BMI equals to BMI. All right. That is how to pass data into a template. So I'll quickly create this template result.html. All right. Remember, this is what we call a result.html. It has to be the same thing. So in the result.html file now, I'm going to make a simple web page to display that answer, BMI calculation. All right. So what will I display down here? First of all, I need to add the style sheet down here. I need to add the style sheet down here. Remember, I can just quickly go here and copy it. Just copy it here and come and paste it here. All right, that's right. So I'm just going to have a container, a div with name container. All right. So the head one is going to be h1. Is going to be your BMI result. All right. So down here, I'm going to have another this thing. I'll call it form wrapper. I need the form wrapper. Form-wrapper. Remember, we have already defined this class before now. Then I'm going to have a p tag with class results inside results. All right. Then I'm going to display the BMI. Your BMI is, then I'm going to output the BMI. Remember that we passed in that BMI as this. This is BMI. So I'm calling this into BMI. So guys, this is just it. I think okay. So let's give it a try. I'm going to reload this page. Cancel, go back, reload the page, cancel, go back, reload this page. All right, I'm going to enter 90 as my weight. Then I'm going to enter 1.2 as my height. Calculate 1.2. Calculate. What do we have there? 1.2. A valid number. Okay. I think this is not taking point itself. Let's check out what we did. Okay. Height, type of number, and what is it saying? Okay. It's because of the points, because numbers are supposed not to take points. So I'm going to introduce the step into it. I'm going to call step, then I say any. All right, so it will allow decimal. Even here, let me put step in. All right, so we'll have a mistake. I'll refresh this again. 90, this is 1.2. All right, calculate. Let's check it out. Cool. All right, boom. We'll just have it here, 0.011111. So guys, we just successfully calculate this, but as you can see, we don't have we don't have the um, style applied to this. We can still apply some style to that to make it look good. So I think let's just quickly apply style to it and we have it. So down here, I'm going to style this result page. And remember, we have a class result here. That's just what I want to style down here. All right, guys. So let me just quickly style that. I'm going to call it results. Results. Then what are we doing? I want to give it a background color of something different. So I'm going to say F1, F1. Then color is going to be a kind of green. Ash 4C. Okay. Then I'm going to have font size of 22 pixels. 22 pixels. Then border radius of 8 pixels. And I'm going to have a padding of 40 pixels. Then I want to have the font width to be bold. All right, guys. So let's try it again. I'll do this. All right, so we have it. All right, guys. So at the end of the day, we have been able to use Python Flask to do some major calculations, and we have been able to get this application set up in Python Flask. So guys, if you like this video, do well to subscribe to my channel and also share the videos. Give me thumbs up if you have any questions or difficulties, or you have any video you want me to record for you, specifically for you. You can just drop me the comment on the comment section down there, then I'm just going to do that. So guys, this is how to develop this with good animations. See you guys in the next video. Bye.